Hey, how y'all doing out there today? Welcome to the Sunday Chill and a special Sunday Chill it is. It's Mother's Day here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Right off the top, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Appreciate you, love you, and we'll talk about songs that inspire us to think about our moms or a special song that you have for your mom along the way. We'll talk about the Falcons. We'll talk about the schedule this week. We'll also talk about the Atlanta Hawks. A lottery pick? Can you believe it? Come on back. Let's talk. What is going on? It is May 12th. It is Sunday. Happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there. Thank you for joining us here in Uncle Steve's Lounge. I hope you all had a beautiful day today. Um, Let me just summarize very quickly. I had a very beautiful Sunday evening, Sunday day, the whole day, really, to be honest with you, starting with church service today and got a chance to honor the moms today in service. And then I had the opportunity, and I know I people, don't take it for granted that, I still have my mom here with me, and I honor her at any opportunity I get. So happy Mother's Day to Laureen Johnson. Love you, appreciate you. And also a great shout out to my wife, Kira Johnson, who's the mother of my two beautiful children. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We had a wonderful time today. Um, Went out to dinner with my sister-in-law, Sonia Davis, in the house, and my niece, Amanda Davis. And we all had a great time at Maggiano's, celebrating motherhood and celebrating just the opportunity to be together and honor them. For those of you whose moms have gone up to heaven and have your angels on assignment looking out for you, God bless you as well. Your mothers are looking out for you. They appreciate you, I'm sure. We appreciate everyone uh, who is just looking over the kids, man. That's just an awesome deal, man. Motherhood is no joke. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. We are gonna talk about a few things today. I know we haven't had an opportunity to sit down and talk since last week this time. And the last time I talked to you, I think they had not talked about whether the schedule, what day the schedule was coming out and all of that. But we found out earlier this week that the schedule will be out Wednesday, which means we're gonna have leaks starting tomorrow. I have a sneaky suspicion we'll start hearing some things about I would imagine the international games tomorrow and um at least probably the kickoff game. Those are things that they usually let people talk about a couple of days before. So, as far as we're concerned, and I know we've talked about it a little bit, but let's deep dive since we'll find out in a couple of days. Opening day opponent for the 2024 Atlanta Falcons. Straight up, who we got? Who's it going to be? Do we go back to the NFC South? We've done that the last 2 years to success with the Carolina Panthers. That was a good one. Who are we going to have this year? I think my odds-on favorite, I'm still going with the revenge game. I'd say revenge game, but the going back home game of Kirk Cousins, even though people may think he might be feeling a certain way these days. We'll talk about that as well. But who the Atlanta Falcons should start off this season with? I think that's the most intriguing matchup. I think you get those matchups that are non-division, you get those out the way. And that's just one that I look at as far as Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota. I think that's perfect for Monday night. I think that would be a good game. What do you want to see? Or who do you want to see? Speaking of who do you want to see, all the talk for the last couple of weeks, and you still have folks upset about Michael Penix is going to sit for 2 years. It was the same dialogue we had a couple of years ago in 2021. Why draft a quarterback? He's going to sit for 2 years because that's what young quarterbacks should do. That's why. But enough talk about Michael Penix from that standpoint. What draft pick, aside of Michael Penix Jr., excites you the most? I mean, I'm intrigued by what Rook Orororo is going to be. I want to see what Brandon Trice is going to give to us. Because I remember seeing him because I was a big Washington. I've been on the Michael Penix train, not to Atlanta, but as far as him being a really good quarterback last year, in the 2022 season. So it's no surprise to me that he was drafted top 10. I was shocked that he got into the Falcons, but it's no shock. But Brandon Trice is somebody, man. Don't sleep on him. Don't do it. I think he's somebody that could be kind of a little special guy. I can't call him Brandon Braylon Trice. There's somebody that I don't think you should sleep on. But who are you excited about coming into this year? And then last but not least, Mother's Day inspired songs. I know the traditional ones. Mama, you know I love you. I know Boys to Men. I know Sadie from the Spinners. What songs do you guys think about? What songs do you have? Those are two that obviously come to my mind. But how about everyone else? When you start thinking about your mom or somebody who raised you like a mom, what songs come to your mind? What inspires you? And then last but not least, the Atlanta Hawks, number one. They won the lotto. So here's the funny thing, right? I am not, obviously, I'm a big Hawks fan, but I'm so out of touch as far as draft picks and things of that nature are concerned. I couldn't tell you who the number one guy. Now I'm hearing this guy, what's his name? Sar, whatever. My son usually keeps me up to date on some of these players that are coming out and who should be the number one draft pick. But it's weird. We were coming home. Well, we were actually at dinner, and my sister says, the Hawks got the number one pick in the lottery. I said, what are you talking about? The Hawks? Nah. She said, no, it just came down. The Hawks got the number one pick. I said, who are the Hawks going to get? And I really don't know. So if I have some very knowledgeable sports fans, Hawks, y'all know a lot about men's college basketball. I know more about women's than I probably do men at this point. Who is the person that we look out for? Will this slow down the trade of Trae Young, the possible or potential trade of Trae Young or DeJounte Murray? Is this something that you package up and trade? Just a whole lot of stuff now with this lotto. And I'm going to tell you, man, I'm not really a fan of the lottery. I'm really not. I know why they did the lottery back in spirit. I know why they did it because it seemed like the same teams were at one time finishing in last, and people are like, well, wait a minute. People are tanking on purpose. So let's throw a wrench in it, see what we can do. So I get it. But I'm not a fan of the lottery at all. Think of the NFL went to a lottery. That would be crazy. But I'm not a fan of it. So that's what we got going on today. Your choice for opening opponent for the Atlanta Falcons. Aside of Michael Penix, which draft pick from the Atlanta Falcons has you excited today? So I'm a lot of stuff. Mother's Day inspired songs. And of course, if y'all want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and that number 1 pick overall, who they should get, I'm open for it. And you know what? I'm feeling real good today. If y'all want to talk about Desmond Ridder, we can talk about it.
I love Desmond.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. Can't help myself. Let's get back. Let's get over here to the chat. Talk to people. First up, Barbara Ridley. How you doing, ma'am? She said they let Bud Dupree go. Didn't want to pay him the money, I suspect. Sure hope we're going our next. Sure hope we're going our next Parsons in the draft. She also says, SAR to the Hawks, please don't pull a Falcons move. Hawks, no surprises. We need a big man. That's the guy that I was talking about. SAR, my son was telling me about him. That would be a good addition to the Atlanta Hawks. I have no problem as long as I see the majority talking about him. He seems like somebody, big guy. We need a big guy. We need some defense. I'm not necessarily, we don't need a 25-point shooter. I need somebody that can be solid in the middle as far as I'm concerned with the Hawks. From what I see with the Hawks can score with anybody. They just can't stop anybody. So let's see how that works out. Dwayne, how you doing, sir? Rise up to you as well. Barbara also adds in Happy Mother's Day. Uncle Steve, I'm not a mom, but Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I'm sure they appreciate that, Miss Barbara. Dondre is in the house. Say, hey, Steve, Happy Mother's Day to your wife. Shout out to the Hawks for the number 1 pick. Absolutely. Demetrius is in the house. What's up, sir? Good to see you. Antonio's here. What's up? Barbara says it's leaked. We will play Minnesota on the road Monday Night Football. Well, that would be interesting if that is true. And Barbara is usually somebody very connected, so I can absolutely prescribe to that. If that's the case, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Dondre says, I hope that Vikings game is Monday night or Sunday. My cousin Trice is the best. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Charles, how you doing, Charles? He said, with more home games than road games, I would like to see Dallas week 1. Would it warrant prime time? Charles, first of all, what's up? I'm not sure Dallas, Atlanta would be prime time. I think a lot of people right now have Dallas on probably a tier higher than us. I don't think they are, Charles. I'm telling you what the outside NFL folks are. I could see potential for prime time for Atlanta. Definitely see Minnesota. I could see even the Giants. Maybe one of the NFC South opponents as a prime time. I can definitely see us going back to Amazon Thursdays this year and getting one of those games with a divisional opponent. Most of those games used to be division matchups. I could see that. Dallas, I'm not sure. It's especially here in Atlanta. I'm not sure if that would be prime time. Now, for us, it would be great. Jamal D in the house. What's going on, sir? Good to see you here on this Sunday. Again, as y'all coming in, appreciate y'all flooding the chat for me. Thank you so much. Again, happy Mother's Day to those mothers out there listening to us. If you're stopping in, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it already, and like the stream so we can get out here in this atmosphere, y'all. Official Big Gangster says, "Dear Mama." That's one of the really played song, heavily rotated songs on Mother's Day. Tupac kind of outdid himself with that. Barbara chimes in and says that as well. Dondre says Shirley Caesar and Remember Mama is a song that he has. That's important to him. Demetrius says Dear Mama by Tupac, apparently by J. Cole, and Keep Your Head Up by Pac. Yeah, that's a good one. Antonio says, I'm so alone by Minute Large. Okay. Whatever motivates you, brother. Hey, it's all good. Minute Large. Antonio says, what's up, Unc? Of course, the Hawks get the number one pick in the draft, but there's no clear-cut generational talent. Antonio, there is. I was telling my son that, too. Why couldn't we be in that position where we wouldn't have been last year because we made the playoffs? Why can't we be in a position like that last year? Because I just don't know enough. I mean, I heard about Wembanyama last year, but I don't know. Hopefully, whoever the pick is somebody that's very teachable and can jump in real quick. I hope so. Dondre says, first overall pick, the Atlanta Hawks selects Bronny James because his name, Daddy Time in ATL. I don't even think that would lure LeBron to the Hawks, but nice try. Barbara says, any one of draft picks that can get to the quarterback would excite me. Trice, meaning JT Bertrand, any of the D tackles that we chose. I hear you loud and clear. That one Falcons fan in the house, what's going on? Said Hawks got the number one pick. We might be drafting a quarterback. For opening opponent, I got Minnesota, and the rookie I got is Braylon Trice, getting 4.5 sacks. I am with you on every last one of those. I think, and according to Barbara, she says she's heard through the grapevine. So, hey. And also says, by the way, last Monday was his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hope you had a great birthday. My mom's birthday is actually tomorrow. So she gets to double dip by doing her Mother's Day and then come right back with the birthday. So, well, but happy birthday to you. Hope you had a good one. Kenneth Davis is here. What's going on? He said probably Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Hey, Unc, what is going on, Kenneth? Pittsburgh would be intriguing. And a lot of times I know they do like to get the AFC games, the interconference games out of the way as well. I can go with that. I can live with that. That would not hurt my feelings at all. Barbara says, I don't the first game will be at home since we've been at home the last 3 years or so. Definitely a road game. Yeah, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm thinking Minnesota as well, because that will be a road game with Kirk Cousins going back home. I think you start talking about intriguing storylines for the NFL. Kirk Cousins has got to be one of the top 5 when you start talking about free agents who left or people who were traded to other teams and their comeback. I don't know if there's a more intriguing free agent going back this year than Kirk Cousins. And now with the extra added spice of, Michael Penix being in the mix, how is that going to play off? Some of the fans in Minnesota, or they be kind of smiling in Kurt's face, per se. Bobby, what's going on, man? Say shout out to my mama. Rest in heaven, Ma. Let's go Falcons. I know my brother and my heart goes out to you because I know that's very recent for you and That's fortunately I have yet to experience that feeling. I lost my dad about 13 years ago, and I can imagine, losing your mom. That's probably uh, not in a rush for that. And my heart goes out to you, my friend. Go that. But let's go Falcons. Absolutely. Let's go. JJ Ayers is in here, says Sadie by the Spinners and R. Kelly. Yeah, I'll stick with the Spinners. I'll stick with the Spinners version of that one. But yes, I know R. Kelly did have a pretty good version. Yeah, I hate that because R. Kelly is just that polarizing stuff, because the brother did have talent. Just a shame that he had all that other stuff involved with him as well. They did also have rookie camp this week. Speaking of the Falcons, Michael Penix and the rest of the folks out there, a lot of the undrafted free agents going out and doing their thing. I love that, when the Falcons, anytime, whether it's Michael Penix, whether it's Kirk Cousins or whatever, they go out and they throw one pass in AtlantaFalcons.com. They dissect the pass. They go back and they show slow motion of him tossing the ball, and all of a sudden, everybody gets all excited and everything. I'm like, yeah, y'all, this first week of rookie camp. Let the guy get acclimated. He's not going to take over in 1 year. Now, knock on wood, if Kirk Cousins gets hurt, which we don't want that to happen, contrary to belief, but we do need him to get as many reps. I think he's going to get a lot of reps in the preseason. I think Michael Penix is going to get a lot of time. Kurt will get his time too, but no worries on Michael Penix. I am so disappointed in listening to the national media kind of come in and infiltrate. Nobody was worried about the Falcons last few years. Nobody was worried about when we were struggling. Nobody was worried about us now. Now all of a sudden we get all these case experts on what the Falcons situation should be. We got clowned. We got talked about for not having great quarterback play. We go get the best free agent available at the quarterback position, maybe overpay him, but he wasn't coming for free. And then we bring in one of the more talented quarterbacks in the draft, which makes our quarterback room, and I made this argument, you probably haven't been this talented since the year Mike Vick was drafted under Chris Chandler. And the opinions about it, they're just ridiculous. We have the most talent in our quarterback room than we've had in over 20 years. And all you can hear is folks who never paid attention to Atlanta say how much we made a bad mistake. That's ridiculous. Antonio says, let's say Oakland calls the Falcons and offer a 25 second and 26 first for Kirk Cousins. Do you pull the trigger? That's a very good question. Here's the problem. Kirk Cousins has already gotten his bonus money. So it's still going to hurt us salary-wise because that money is going to count against the cap, even if we let him go. His base salary this year is actually not, matter of fact, I'm pulling it up right now. Kirk Cousins' base salary is only $25 million. And I say only, but the bonus money is what's going to kill us. But I hear you. It's something to think about. But I think the The bonus money we've already paid. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. But I would listen, Antonio. I definitely listen. Barbara says we still need to get veteran help at safety, cornerback, edge, wide receiver, if you ask me. I mean, wide receiver right now, look, it's Rondell Moore, Mooney, Kadero Hodge, Drake London. Is that a wide receiver room that just makes you jump up and say next level? No. But I'm willing to work with those guys right now. Casey Washington, I have no idea. I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like I've seen him a lot. I saw him a little. I didn't see him a lot. That would be something to think about. Yes, of course, corner. Raheem addressed that a little bit in his press conference because they asked him why he didn't go after cornerback. He said for right now, and I think he probably had his tongue in his cheek when he said it, we like our cornerback room right now with AJ and Mike Hughes and Clark, Alford. He said he liked it. I have a feeling they might be trying to look for somebody else. I'm going to pull up while I'm answering this other question. I'm going to try to pull up the free agents at cornerback. Barbara says, any truth to the rumors they go to 18 games and 2 bye weeks? Yes, some say that's why the schedule is like. It's not going to be this year that they do that, but Roger Goodell did say that that's his goal. His goal is definitely to go to 18 games. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he said by 2026. Could be wrong, but I think he said 2026. So that's something that's going to happen. When you saw them go to 17 games, this won't last long. They'll be at 18 games probably in 2 years. Barbara said Mike Vick sat his rookie season, so Penix will be okay. That's my thought. Mike came out there, I think, the last 2 games and played. But that's fine. Let Michael Penix sit. I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins to make it through the whole season because I really do feel like that would be beneficial for him. There is no need to rush him out of there. We talked about that. Talked about that in 21. And everybody was saying, no, don't do it. I don't know. You throw somebody out there and they're supposed to play day one if they're in the top 10. Says who? And to Barbara's point, Mike Vick was the number 1 overall pick, and he didn't start. ATL GA Faithful in the house. What's going on, brother? Y'all make sure y'all check him out on his YouTube page. Please, please, please. He said, bringing the excitement back to the ATL. Praise Falcons, Hawks, United. We making move, man. United been struggling. Man. Ever since we got rid of the little first coach that left, United have been kind of on the struggle horse. Lost again yesterday, 3-2. Now, I want to be a United fan and I want to get into it, but you know what's going to get my attention first? Winning. See the Atlanta Braves, who everybody was ready to throw in the trash can just because they lost a couple of games on the West Coast. Dude, newsflash. Braves always lose on the West Coast. Always. Calm down. It is May in baseball. I don't start paying baseball any real attention until late August. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't watch a game. I'm not saying I don't read the papers. I don't say I don't keep up with them and stuff like that. But calm down. They'll be fine. Philip's here. What's going on, Philip? He said, out of all the things people are saying about our quarterbacks, the one thing they can't say is they are sorry. That's my biggest point, Philip. I mean, Philip, we were all sitting here last year trying to convince ourselves that we had the most talented up-and-coming guys on our roster.
I love Desmond.
We fooled ourselves. We talked this up. It's no disrespect to my man, but the last regime made us feel like he was coming. He was on the up. Nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to be that team. So now you go out and get the most in free agency, the most accomplished guy that was available, sans the Achilles. And then you go, and he wasn't the first quarterback, second quarterback, or the third quarterback pick. He was fourth in a draft where obviously defense wasn't thought to be in the top half of the draft in the first round. Nobody picked anybody in the top 15 picks. Was it 14? What was Latu? 15? 14 picks. So for those who, but that's your need, so you reach. Okay. I heard somebody say that last week. I wanted to jump on their show so bad. And I just couldn't. Because why would you reach for somebody that's not time? The one thing you can say about the Penix pick is that no one, you hear all the prognosticators, all the doubters about the situation and whatever. The one thing they don't say is Michael Penix wasn't talented enough to go at number 8. If that was the argument, then I could see why fans would be irate. But the argument is, well, it's too early. We can wait. We can wait a couple of years and get what's Manning's name? Case Trask. What's the boy? It's the boy from Texas. What's Cooper's son name? I can't even think of his name. Yes, y'all help me. Kelvin, what's up, Kelvin? Say 18 games. Players barely want to do 17. Kelvin, you know what 18 games mean? And God bless your heart for thinking that. That's another game check. They want 18 games. Their body doesn't want 18 games, but that's an 18th paycheck. They want to play it. Carrie is here. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? He said, hey, everyone, checking in. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. Carrie, you as well. Thank you so much for coming in here. Kenneth says, let's go special teams. It has always given us the edge. Truth. Plus, quarterback action. Yes. Yes. Let's do it. Kelvin says, you see Drake May is going to sit, and he was top 3. There we go. I mean, there's no rush. And if 2021 taught us anything, even with Clemson's dude, it taught us that necessarily you don't need to jump everyone out there that quick. You don't. Sometimes you can sit down and wait. Barbara says, going to my first Atlanta Dream in person this month. Excited? You should be. Atlanta Dream had a good team last year. And now Tina Charles joins. And if anybody doesn't know who Tina Charles is, if you watch WNBA or watched UConn back in the day, Tina Charles is no joke. Yes, she's a little older, but she's going to solidify that team. With Alicia Gray and Ron Howard on that team, the Dream are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Don't pay attention to preseason games with them. The Dream are going to be one of the top 6 teams. Antonio says, listening to the national media talk about the Falcons situation lets me know they haven't paid attention to them in years. And that's my point, Antonio. You're absolutely right. They want to be an expert now on the Falcons. Nobody been paying the Falcons any attention over the last few years. Now, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that they have concern over the Falcons. No, go back, start covering Dallas, keep covering the Giants and Jets, Keep covering Kansas City. Go back and do that. Let the Falcons be the Falcons. We don't need your national presence. Just let us grind and win our thing. Kelvin said his Mother's Day song is Thanks for My Child. Yeah, Cheryl Pepsi Riley. I used to like that song. That was a good song. Very good song back in the day. ATLGA Favor says, LOL, not so much United right now, but at least they got a chip. This is true. Hawks #1 pick. Falcons, because Michael Penix and the Braves. The Braves. Yep. I think in about 2 to 3 years, folks, Atlanta is really going to be a hotbed of positive sports teams in this league. Braves aren't going anywhere. The Falcons are going to be a winning team. The Hawks, if they can make the right moves, but the Hawks are not far. If y'all look at the Eastern Conference right now, if y'all have been watching any of the basketball right now, are the Atlanta Hawks that far away from, I don't know, Indiana, Orlando, Cleveland? Not really. Boston is the class of the conference by far. If Embiid is healthy, Philadelphia can be that team too. And the same goes Giannis with the Bucks. Aside of those 3 teams right there, is Atlanta that much worse than the 4 through 9 teams this year? The answer is no. We can make a turnaround just like the Orlando Magic did this year. And I told my son, and I reference my son Tyler all the time because he and I probably talk more sports together about things. And I was telling him, there is no team in the East aside of Boston that are really clear-cut favorites over anybody. Even with the addition of Embiid, and Embiid was relatively healthy during the playoffs, they couldn't get past. And the same thing with Indiana, Orlando. Those are all the same teams to me. Cleveland, Miami Heat, they're all the same teams. Travis, what's going on, sir? Happy Mother's Day to all the Bird Game members out there. I'm so sick of Bo Morgan and Mike Bell whining about the Penix pick like we didn't draft any edge players. Well, I'm going to tell you something. First of all, 92.9 The Game. I love sports talk radio. So I'm always going to listen. That's going to be the one thing I'll say positive. Because if there's sports talk in Atlanta, which includes 680 The Fan, the problem is I can't hear them because their signal is so distorted all the time. But 92.9, I try to stay on that channel. The morning shift with Bo Morgan, I know you work for the Falcons. I know you think you're the whiz of all behind the scenes, which you might be technically and stuff, but Bo Morgan, his opinions and his rants and his really dry humor things on radio are just very not listenable to. I really want to like what's her name? Tiffany Cochran, and not Tiffany Cochran, Tiffany Blackman. I really want to like her. And Mike Johnson, I really want to like, but that show is really boring to me. So I don't know. And Mike Bell is either a love or hate type guy. Sometimes I can tolerate him, and other times I think Mike Bell is lost in the 80s and 90s. All of his jokes about 80s stuff and 90s stuff. So I don't know. Got our first super chat in the house today. And Uncle Steve runs the show. What else you need to will reach a super chat. Oh, thank you, JJ. We appreciate you coming in here, man. Thank you so much. He said, "What's up, Unc? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The NBA lottery was crazy. Shout out to your Hawks. But my Spurs got the top 8 picks." Yeah, I know. And look, y'all going to benefit too, because I think you guys have our pick next year as well. This is going to be crazy because the Hawks are not going to have a number 1 pick for the next couple of years. So that's why it's so important to probably do the best you can. This SARS guy, I don't know whether he's that great or not, but if he is, you better take him now, because you might not get another chance to get a person again sitting over here. Mother alert! Talked about it earlier today. Happy Mother's Day again, Mom. Love you. She says, sitting on the bench watching and learning will probably make Penix a better quarterback in the Falcons about room. Yep. Look, there right now, if you're gonna sit here and tell me that Kirk Cousins is gonna be here more than, I don't know, 3 years, I think we're sadly mistaken. And I would rather go look on my bench to see my next quarterback, as opposed to trying to hope and pray somebody works with me to bring my next quarterback into Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? Like, wait for the next free agent. Wait for the next draft. Cross my fingers. Terry Fontenot said it plain as day. I'm looking out for our future. That's something we didn't do before. And I think if Terry were being honest, I think he probably regrets not picking a quarterback in 21. Now, in hindsight, we can say, glad we dodged that bullet. But who knows? If we had drafted Justin Fields, maybe he would have worked out in Atlanta. If we had drafted Mac Jones, maybe he would have been a better fit here and learned under Matt Ryan. So we really don't know. But that's a good point, Mom. Travis, yeah, thank you, Travis. Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you, Marina. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, Arch. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Arch Manning. That's what I was thinking. Antonio says, into you. I miss you. That's what I mean. Oh, my bad, brother. You know what? I appreciate that, because I tell you what, I had no idea what you were talking about. But I appreciate it, man. Damon is here. What's going on, Damon? He said, what's good, Unc? I am truly shocked on how folks feel about our pick. To me, I think it was genius. Folks need to take a look at the tape on our first, second rounder pick, Beast. Yeah, Rook is going to be an interesting case. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Damon. This is what scares me about the Rook. And Rook seems like he has a lot of energy. They were showing him, on the film with his helmet and all the good stuff. He seems like he's got a little bit of roar in him and all of that. I saw that same character in Marlon Davidson. I saw that same character in Tat McKinley. And shame on me for making the comparison. But I'm a unfortunately pessimistic, jilted Falcon fan. And I'm at the point where I'm just saying, you know what? All the talk and all the, publicly, man, put it on the field, bro. And you know what? If you put it on the field and give me 6-7 sacks this year and do what you need to do, I'm cool. Just put it on the field. And I have no problem with guys expressing themselves and doing what they do. That's your prerogative. But I just seen too many come through here in the last few years that I'm jaded. So I wish my buddy all the luck in the world. But man, just do it on the field first, man. TW said if Hawks had a Bachero, yeah, not far. Yeah, listen, and I'm gonna tell you what. Be honest with you, I kind of didn't think he was gonna be good coming out of North Carolina. I didn't think he was gonna be good in the pros. Fooled me. He's a beast. Really good. Mom says not to worry though. If he has to go, I think that he will be fine. By the way, son, thank you for the day. It was very much appreciated. Love you and Kira for a wonderful Mother's Day lunch. Thank you, Mom. And if you went back to the beginning of the video, I talked all about it for the first 5 or 10 minutes. So appreciate you, love you, and hope you enjoyed your day as well. Yeah. TW says Sparky. Sparky sportscaster. He said except State and Sandra, Randy, and Andy. Everybody likes Randy and Andy. And that's funny because I'm in that same boat. Out of all the folks that I wish that they had like a 3 or 4 hour show, I really like Andy Randy. I really do. That's probably my favorite show on there. Like Colin and Mike are fine, the Dukes and Bell guys. But like I said again, Mike can, that New York stuff, which is why I'm run hot with State sometimes too. Sometimes you just, that we're New York, we're East Coast, we know this, That's why I wish Bo Morgan was a little bit more likable. Because if he could be likable, he'd probably be very, very well received here. But it just kind of comes across as kind of a behind the scenes hack to me. Yeah, but look, he has a radio show. I don't, so more power to him. Kelvin says, I hope Cousins stays healthy for at least 1 year because once he's in, can you really pull him out, especially if he's winning? Kelvin, that's a good point. I have no problem with sticking with Kurt past 2025 if he's winning and if we are moving forward towards a Super Bowl run. Here's my thing. And no situation is going to always be Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. If I see that a soon-to-be 37 next year, Kirk Cousins may not give me the productivity that he did the last couple of years, then I'm going to make that decision very quickly. I think 2024-25, Kirk Cousins is going to get every opportunity he can to show that he's the guy on this team. I truly think that, sans injury. But, Kelvin, I'm telling you, we slip around and get another 7-10 season with him at the head. Michael Penix need to brush up on that playbook even quicker. But I really do hope he succeeds. I just wanted him to succeed because he's the Falcons quarterback. But that doesn't change for me anyway. If you're Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke, Marcus Mariota, whoever, I always wanted them to win. There's never been a point when those guys were quarterbacking for the Falcons where I said, I hope Marcus Mariota loses just to get him off the field. There was never a part where I said last year with Desmond Ridder, I hope he loses so they can get him off the field. Do I criticize him? Absolutely I did. But with the Kirk Cousins thing, it's going to be the same. If Kirk Cousins doesn't come through, I'm going to look for the Michael Penix experience. But it's fair. He says, and to all the fans who wanted JJ, he's been off target and already has an interception already. Yeah. Hey, man. We'll see. Juan, what's going on, Juan? How you doing, Say happy Mother's Day to the women in your life and you as well, my friend. Absolutely. He said, Juan said, will Atlanta have controversy with the number 1 pick? I don't think so. I mean, Juan, I think you just need to do your homework. I'm not sure if Landry feels, I know a lot of people speak highly of him. This is his opportunity. This is his golden ticket per se. This is your chance to work your magic. There's no guarantee that the Hawks want this number 1 pick. Maybe they can package that up and get somebody really talented. Somebody with a contract that they can live with, somebody who will come in here and mesh with what we got going on, or go out and get who you think is the best talent coming out of the draft. But we'll see. TW says Terry's a genius. He is. I think Terry's done a really good job. I wanna hold back on I say genius. I want to hold back to say genius until I see some wins. Because as much as we do, and we should have given Arthur Smith a hard time, Terry also helped bring some of these players in here. Players we're not complaining about. No one's complaining about Drake. No one's complaining about Bijan. No one's complaining. Well, depends on what year it is for Kyle Pitts. But at some point, these folks that you bring in here, they have to produce. But I do like the way he works, though, TW. I like Terry a lot. You're not going to get me to dog Terry out at all. Tay says, I have a serious question. At what time do Kurt start playing like he's 36? Because this the age when father time starts creeping up, right? Tay, I 100% believe you. Here's why the Michael Penix pick is gonna just make so much sense. Prior to us signing Kirk Cousins, the Falcon fan base was not on board with paying Kirk Cousins $40 to $50 million a year, including me. And I'm still not a big fan of it. But looking at the landscape, and as I'm looking over here at the free agent list right now, what other quarterbacks were you going to get? And I'm not talking about fantasy trades. I'm looking right quick. I'm just going back to the statuses this year of the quarterbacks who were available. Kirk Cousins was available. Baker Mayfield was available. Trying to go back to quarterbacks. Let's have to remind people of this stuff. Quarterbacks. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, these were the free agents available this past season. This past offseason. Kirk Cousins, Gardner Minshew, Tyrod Taylor, Sam Darnold, Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota, Mitchell Trubisky. Do I need to keep going? Drew Lock, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mason Rudolph. I don't even know who this is. John Rye Plumlee? I don't even know who that is. Those were the free agents available. Folks, we weren't going to get much better than Kirk Cousins. And guess what? Kirk Cousins knew we weren't going to get much more than Kirk Cousins. That's why he could run his price up. So I'm getting back to your question, Tay. So if he was the best and you had to overpay him, you have to show the Atlanta fan base that you want to win now. And what better statement was it than to pay this guy to come in for your team? And it was all great for the 2.5 weeks or whatever it was that we did. And then all of a sudden, curveball thrown. Let's get Michael Penix. So now let me go back to your question about 36 and Father Time. Every quarterback's not going to be Tom Brady. Every quarterback is not going to play to his 40s. Aaron Rodgers is about to find out whether he can elude Father Time. So the Kirk Cousins thing is still a gamble. So for those people who are saying, you're playing blackjack and you got that ace, you better buy insurance. And our insurance this year is Michael Penix. So to your point, that's why I think, Tay, it was a great move to do that, to me. Philip says Rook has the same energy as Frank Darby. See, that's kind of where I was going. I didn't want to say it like that, but it's true. And God bless Frank Darby, because he didn't do anything to me. He just probably wasn't good enough to get on the field that much. But I don't need a comedian. I don't need one of those gestures. I need some football players. Show me what you do on the field. Barbara says maybe Root will be more of a Witherspoon for us of instead of Tack. I hope so. Sean's only problem was Sean couldn't stay healthy. I love Sean. Sean Witherspoon was really good for us. He couldn't stay healthy. Him or his Missouri counterpart, William Moore. They couldn't stay healthy. They stayed healthy. The Falcons may have been more productive in those mid-teen 2010s than we were. Kelvin says, I think Rook is going to be a project for Grady mostly. I hope so. If Grady works with him, I hope he does. Juan says, I miss Jamie Dukes and the other guy. Yeah, Jamie Dukes was pretty good. Dukes used to be on with what's my guy that he's on the NBA now. Rick Kamala used to be on with him a lot. Jamie Dukes was always good. Jamie Dukes spoke his mind. That's what got Jamie Dukes out of here. But he was really good. Juan says, and Hugh was great. I hope he's doing better nowadays. Prayer to him still. I when Hugh first came, I'm not gonna lie to you, it took me a while to get Hugh. But pairing him with John Fricke was probably the best thing. Shout out to John Fricke. That was probably the best thing for Hugh Douglas. And he got a lot better as the years went on. I hate that we lost him. Antonio says, I hope the Hawks don't trade Trey Young. That 2020 playoff run showed me that Trey ain't scared of the big moment. He's not, but I think we just hit the perfect storm that year. And I know people, we have a tendency to think just because we got there last year, almost like with the Super Bowl teams, you think you get there and, oh man, we got the same team, we got the same young folks. The Hawks did the same thing the Falcons did. Falcons got to the Super Bowl, they re-signed everybody for way more money than they should have. Trufant, Devonta Freeman, they needed to hold tight. Deion Jones. And the Hawks did the same. Should have never done that. Antonio said, what happened to the Two Live Stews? Two Live Stews are actually on YouTube now. They have a YouTube channel. Go check them out. They just started kind of back up, I want to say about a month or two ago. And I think they do the show. I think what they do is they record it and then they run it in the morning and stuff. And every now and then they'll be on actually live on YouTube. But they just came back maybe about a couple of months ago. They did some trial shows. But check them out on YouTube. They definitely uh, are there, and they bring the same energy that they used to on radio as well. I like the Two Live Stews; they were pretty good. Robert says, if we don't make the playoffs, I see Terry Fontenot with his bags packed. If we don't have a winning record, I could see definitely Terry Fontenot maybe moving on, but he's gotta show up. He's got to show up. What's going on, Sarge? Good to see you, man. What's happening, May God continue to provide you with good health, and you too, my friend. Thank you for joining us, as you always do on Uncle Steve's Lounge. I appreciate you. That Barbara says, if Pitts and AK don't produce this year, no more excuses. Nah, AK, in fairness, AK gave us some sacks this year. I mean, is he a finished product? No. But AK didn't do bad this year. He took a step forward. He took better steps than Ogundeji and D'Angelo Malone. But I understand. You want more, and there's nothing wrong with wanting more. You know. So, TW says Zach Domindo going the funds on us. Said Kurt has always had perfect timing. Not the overpayment, the market. Ain't mad at Kurt. I listen to a lot of people, TW, that they get upset because the first thing people say, Kirk Cousins isn't a $40 million, and in this case, well, $40 million, $45 million quarterback, which is the annual. And I'm saying, just like you, that's not his fault. Is that his fault that the market says that a average to good quarterback, that's what you get? Everyone keeps talking about the Dak Prescott and stuff. Let's look at this together, y'all. I'm gonna put this on the screen since you brought that up. I'm gonna put this on the screen, and we're gonna pull out the contracts of these guys. First of all, I'm gonna take care of my buddy Greg, and how Greg, I gotta get with you, man. What's going on, my friend?
I can tell you how I feel about your super chat. How I feel about it. Hey, hey. I can tell you how I feel about your super chat. How I feel about you. Oh.
Greg, we appreciate you coming in here, brother. Greg's Custom Kicks. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. I definitely need to re-up with him and say, what's up, Unc? I'm steady cooking up these shoe designs. I might have a good idea for your Vegas custom. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Tidy's design is now a much wanted design pattern. Y'all make sure y'all check out Greg's shoes, and hopefully Tidy will put those back on to let everybody look at those shoes that he had, man. I'm telling y'all, Greg does the job. Greg's Custom Kicks, always giving him some love. And I while you mentioning Tidy in the Bird Gang, I just wanted to also today give some condolences, man. My brother Eddie Carswell. If you're on Atlanta Bird Gang, if you're used to that, if you've been watching on Facebook, man, Eddie was very outspoken but hardcore Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks, Georgia Bulldog fan. He unfortunately lost his life a couple of days ago. We are sad to say, but the brother, if y'all ever encountered him on Facebook, and he and I actually hooked up a couple of times and talked through Facebook as well. Very passionate, very excitable guy. Used to love hearing him debate. Very comical, very, I don't know, just a good feel for the guy. And the one thing that you used to see a lot of from him on a lot of his posts. He is a family guy. So those of you who had to, ever encounter him, just get some love, prayers for his family as they lost uh, the man in their life, or Eddie, man. God bless you, Eddie, man, and hope you're resting well today, brother. Let me pull up this list here, and let me bring it up a little bit. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is uh, just for those who feel like we paid Kirk Cousins so much money. Here is the list right now of the top. Let me see if I can make this thing any bigger. No, I'm blind. There we go. Okay. So this is a list of the top quarterbacks in the league. Sorry, let me pull this down. Let me sign in here right quick, because you can take all these ads off. I hate these ads. There we go. All right, let me bring it back up here. Okay, so here is the quarterback list for the NFL right now. Come on. Y'all, I'm sorry. My fingers are slow. There we go. All right, let's do it that way. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes is the top rated quarterback. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. I don't think anybody's going to say much about his deserving his money. Look at the folks who are in this top 10. Joe Burrow, he went to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert, 1 Super Bowl appearance. Everyone says he's the next guy. Lamar Jackson, 2 MVPs. Josh Allen, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Jalen Hurts, 1 great run. Kyler Murray, 1 run in the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson did things early, but now we'll see. Kirk Cousins, been to the playoffs, only 1 playoff win. I mean, so that's really what the going rate is, folks. It's not like they're stretching out by paying Kirk Cousins. What other quarterbacks do y'all see on this list that you would give more money to, or you would sign on your team? Matter of fact, let me see if I can just get the quarterbacks on here. Hold on. Let me see if I can get. Let's go to just quarterback. Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford. I mean, really, if we're honest with ourselves, the only good quarterback, not a good quarterback, the only quarterback probably worth his salt right now is Patrick Mahomes, because he's won the chip 3 times. So don't get so upset when we start talking about Kirk Cousins and his money. Let the Falcons worry about that. They'll be fine. Barbara says Daniel Jones getting paid $40 million and Russell too, except Russ is not on the Broncos, of course. That's the going rate. That's the going rate. That's what it is. I'm sorry that people disagree with it. If there's an upcoming quarterback, in 2025 that's going to be a free agent, guess what his starting point is going to be? Starting point going to be $40 million. I don't care who you are. It's going to be $40 million. That's the going rate. Tua is sitting back saying, okay, y'all sign everybody y'all want to. Kirk Cousins, I love you got that contract because I'm going to get more. That's just how it is. Matt Ryan used to get those quarterbacks all the time. He used to get those quarterback contracts all the time. And we were mad at Matt. Mad what? That was the going rate. I never understood that. Travis says we didn't always see eye to eye, but Eddie always stood 10 toes down for the team. Prayers to the Carswell family. Absolutely. I've learned a long time ago, we don't always have to agree on things. I think sometimes that's one of the great things sports can kind of teach us is we don't have to agree point for point all the time. But I do believe that we're all entitled to opinions as long as you respectfully talk about them. I don't have a problem with you. I'll debate or talk about anything. And a matter of fact, I almost like talking about things that I disagree with folks for. You know, just to hear different avenues. Greg, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you coming in.
Uncle Steve. Do you love me? Are you riding? Do you like my super chat? We're talking football, talking all ball at the town hall. Did you love your Uncle Steve?
I see your message, brother.
Do you riding?
As soon as I get off here and check that out on my iPad, I will let you know, my friend. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can't be mad at quarterbacks for getting the money that they. It's the most important position in the NFL. So they're gonna get paid. And now it seems like wide receivers getting in on that. They have to catch. And it's all surrounded. Think about it. The most important player is the quarterback. They're going to get paid the most. Who is the second most important player? The person who sacks the quarterback. They get paid. Who's the third most important player? The player catching the ball from the quarterback. They're getting paid. Who's usually the fourth and probably underrated player? Usually that left or right tackle because they're protecting the quarterback's blind side. It all plays in. We can't worry about the money. If the Falcons aren't worried about it and they have a plan, let the Falcons deal with it. I will. I'm gonna let Terry do all this cooking. Barbara says they need to go after Simmons. I would love to get Justin Simmons. I would love to get him. We do need another safety. We got another safety to matter of fact, I think he might be, let's see, free agents. Where are my free agents? Free agents right now. He might be one of the top rated free agents on the board. Let's see. I gotta take this down a little bit. Let's see. Free agents, 2024 free agents, and safety. I'm sorry, y'all. Trying to pull this available and defense. Funny, some of the positions that they have on here. Put it on here. Share screen. If y'all look at some of those positions that they have, Xavier Howard, is he somebody that you want on the other side of AJ? Maybe. Jamal Adams gets hurt too much. Way too much. Justin Simmons, that's who I'm looking at. Here's the problem with Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons is probably going to cost you. He's not going to come cheap. I would love to have him on our team. You think about him and Jesse. And the funny thing is, I think he's playing the waiting game. He's probably sitting around saying, yeah, I'm just waiting for y'all to get into camp, sign in so I don't have to worry about doing the OTAs and all that stuff. He's somebody that you're gonna be looking out for. Yeah, Simmons would be great. Barbara says McGarry guarding Penix blindside when it's time is concerned. You know what, Barbara? By that time, you know what they're gonna do? I really think they'll probably move Bergeron over there because Bergeron was a tackle before they moved him into the guard position. I think they'd do that before they leave McGarry. Yeah, McGarry is a liability out there blocking, especially for a left-handed Penix. Yeah, no way would McGarry be there. Antonio says, my mama song is Gladys Knight and the Pips, the best thing that ever happened to me. I used to love that song. That is an awesome song. Gladys Knight. Underrated, man. Gladys Knight doesn't get the love she deserves. Barbara says a good safety will free up the edge. And look, Barbara, the edge is going to be very important. I was looking on this list. There aren't a lot of high value edge guys. That's why I probably think Terry and Raw are going to try their best to develop these guys they have now. Because who wants to pay $10, $15 million for some guys? If you can teach these young guys to run your scheme and do what you're supposed to do, maybe we could save some money and stretch that out for a year or two. The quality edge rushers, you saw what Hunter got. And these guys, they cost big money. Yeah, Yannick might come a little bit cheap. Now, I could definitely see him as somebody who I think the last couple of years had a $10 million salary last year. And I don't even think what did Yannick do last year? Did he what is his statistics? Last year he had 4 sacks last year. He had 4 sacks, Barbara. I think if you're the Falcons, I don't know if he could come in and maybe take, I don't know, $45 million. I wouldn't mind bringing him in here. But I need more. I need more what he did in 22, 21, somewhere between 8 and 10. Yeah, that 4 sack thing, you're not going to get a lot of calls from players. I mean, from teams for that low of production. I don't think you will, at least. Well, folks, we are coming to the end of today's Sunday Chill. I appreciate everyone stopping in. Again, to those of you celebrating your mothers today, celebrate them all day. Hopefully, you got a chance to enjoy them today, as I got a chance to appreciate everyone joining in, talking Atlanta Falcons talk. We will be in tomorrow for the Monday Minutia. Y'all check us out on Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, if you're coming in and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you for chatting with us. We will see you tomorrow in Uncle Steve's Lounge. Thanks a lot. Y'all take care.